Hello everyone. Welcome to another stream. How y'all doing? Welcome to Court Watch. Today we are continuing our trek through the Afroman trial. We are on the second part of day 2. We might get into a bit of day 3 today. Should be lots of fun seeing how this goes. We're getting close to the verdict. I know we know the answer, but it'll still be fun to get through. How's everyone doing in chat? Hi, Wannabe. How's it going? Hello, Mr. Blast, Nemesaur, Demon Trigger. Everyone else, what's up? Jay's a proxy, thanks for a 405 stream streak. Says 595 to go. I got nothing else to say for now. What was my Vulcan name? I think it was like Tahan or something. Wannabe, thanks for a 35 stream streak, says, yeah, 35 in a row. I'm so blessed with your highness of the chats allowing me. I'm a gracious queen. Densetsu, how's it going on YouTube? Evening to you as well. If you want to help out the stream on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the like button. If you want to support the show, you can always become a member on YouTube or use super chats. On Twitch, you can always become a subscriber, use bits, or gift subs. With all that out of the way, I think we can just jump into it. I don't think I have any other housekeeping. I think we're just gonna do the Afroman thing. So, should be fun. Let's turn the music off, and we will jump back into it.
Michael Robinson. Your Honor, for the record, the defense would renew its objection contained in the motion limine file stamped March 16th that was served for us that day.
Thank you for filing the motion limine. Note the objection, overrule the objection, and then that preserves your issue. Very good. Go ahead.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth,
We just started. You didn't miss anything. They're calling the next witness right now.
and nothing but the truth, as the issue shall answer unto God?
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Okay. Go ahead. Please.
Thank you, Judge. Would you introduce yourself to the jury, please?
Certainly. My name is Mike Robinson. I'm a deputy sheriff with the Claremont County Sheriff's Office and been employed there for 35 years next month.
And can you tell us your current position and responsibilities with the Claremont County Sheriff's Office?
Sure.
Yes, it's day 2, Dillis Filler. Nice typo.
I'm assigned under the investigative section with the Claremont County Sheriff's Office. I'm an evidence technician. I'm a certified evidence technician through the Miami Valley Regional Crime Laboratory. I am a certified
I'm going to object. He's testifying to stuff that was not contained in the report that was provided to us, nor
Sorry, some of my hair got caught behind my Vulcan ear.
anything about his background was provided. This is improper to ask this at this point. It was not disclosed.
His name and his purpose here were certainly disclosed. I'm simply giving background information so the jury knows who's talking to them. He can certainly be cross-examined by Mr. Osborne if Mr. Osborne finds anything that he wants to question him about, but
Is there a written report?
there is.
Was that provided?
It was.
It was provided upon request. It's contained in my motion and limited email response to it and everything, noting the dates and times. There is no CV attached to it. He is asking stuff that would paint this gentleman as an expert. Expert requires at least 28 days notice prior to trial. It was never disclosed 28 days before, so it does not meet that. Asking him his training and everything, which we were not disclosed of, puts us at a disadvantage because we had no ability to research it, and we would object to that or paint him as an expert when it has not been followed per the rules.
Okay. I kind of understand the objection. You guys know I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know the right way to go with this, but it seems like he's basically saying they are framing this witness, the sheriff, as if he is an expert witness and therefore should be treated as such, and he needed to have more notice than for a typical witness. Okay. Dillis Filler, thanks for a 5-stream stream.
He's going to be testifying as a fact witness, Judge, as to the investigation he conducted into the alleged missing cash in this case.
So the amended witness list is March 11. I have to remember the date of the first witness list. So as a fact witness, that's how I took him also. So his qualifications are irrelevant, I understand the objection and I overrule it. You can go ahead.
Thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
If his qualifications are irrelevant, why are you allowing them to give his
Yes,
qualifications?
it is.
Feels like a backwards justification. If his qualifications are irrelevant, then shouldn't you have sustained the objection and strucken it from the record? I'm very confused, and it might be on me. I don't know.
Continue, please. And your title is detective. Is that how we should refer to you? Or
Yes.
Detective Robinson, you were talking about your certifications, I believe.
Yes, I'm a certified evidence technician through the Miami Valley Regional Crime Laboratory. I'm a certified CVSA examiner as computer voice stress analysis for the last 25 years. I'm also a certified Part 107 drone pilot through the FAA, where I head up our Claremont County Sheriff's Office drone unit and flight missions operations. I'm also.
Your Honor, I'm going to object again. What does drone
How many days does this trial last? 3 days.
training have to do with this? Was there a drone flown? It was not in the report.
Maybe nothing.
It has to do with who he is, Judge.
Yeah,
What? Why?
right on point, but then heard.
I'm also, I've been certified Cellbrite examiner, which is the conducting forensic cell phone data extract.
This just feels like if imagine I was called to be a witness in a case and they're like, what are you qualified in? And I wasn't an expert witness, but they just expected me to talk about myself and things I'm into. Well, let's see, I collect a lot of Blu-rays and I play video games. I have both an Xbox and a PlayStation. I really enjoy cheese. I like a good Parmesan. You know, I like a good goat cheese. Like, none of it would really have relevance to what I'm testifying towards, so what's the point? I understand that you need to establish who he is. Basically, he's the sheriff. That's fine. But why is all this extraneous detail necessary? It feels like it's there just to be like, I'm Mr. Sheriff, man. You should respect me. Look at how many things I've done. Yeah, puffery. It feels like they're just trying to, like, fluff up the witness, so to speak.
I also serve as a backup coroner investigator with the Claremont County Sheriff's Office, or a coroner's office.
Thank you, Detective Robinson. Did you have occasion to conduct an investigation into an alleged missing amount of cash at the Adams County Sheriff's Department, the evidence room in particular?
Yes.
And
We investigated ourselves and found no wrongdoing. Shouldn't the jury trust us?
just tell us
This man is a drone pilot. You can trust him.
how you became involved in an investigation into that.
God, these ears fucked my hair
I was
all up.
contacted by our administration, who was contacted by what I believe to be the former sheriff, Adams County Sheriff Kimmy Rogers, to conduct an investigation involving the alleged missing money.
And can you explain to us what your investigation consisted of? What did you do?
Well, I met with Sheriff Kimmy Rogers,
Thanks, Phoenix.
and I wanted to conduct an audit, actually, of the property evidence room that consisted of monies that would be brought in or had been brought in by deputies, detectives, agents, and so forth. So we were given, when I say we, my partner and I, were given full access to that, where we counted monies that were brought in from other investigations and so forth.
And is it fair to say that your investigation really focused on an alleged cash discrepancy from a search warrant that had been executed not too long before your investigation?
That's correct.
And can you tell us any more about that investigation? For example, does the name Brian Newland ring a bell to you?
Yes. We were forwarded video footage, body cam footage of the search warrant that was conducted. And I focused attention to the body cam footage that involved the money count. And when I say money count, there were actually two money counts. There was, from the body cam video footage, there was money that was collected from one room of the home, and there was other monies that were collected from another, what appeared to be another room of the home. So you had a money count in this room that totaled a certain amount, and then you had a money count in another room that totaled a
Oh my God, did the discrepancy happen because one of the cops couldn't do basic addition?
certain amount.
That would be the funniest answer for the discrepancy between the stated amount on the package and what was returned. Just, sorry, the cop couldn't do math.
And do you remember what the alleged discrepancy was? Maybe not in terms of numbers right now, we'll get to that, but just in general, what was the problem? There was something, an amount was recorded that didn't actually
Wonder which cop it was. He already testified in day one, or maybe it was early day two, but we already covered that.
with the amount of money that was there. Is that?
That's correct. So what was reported altogether was $400 missing, alleged to be missing. $390 from the first money count, from the one room money count, and $10 from another money count from the other room. So that totaled to $400.
All right. And did you review, you mentioned you reviewed some body cam. Do you know whose body cam footage that was?
That was Detective Newland's body cam.
Okay. And you
Hey,
reviewed
Wilco.
that body cam?
I did.
And were you able to come to any conclusions after your review of that body cam?
So the body cam footage that I reviewed in the one room that was counted as $4,390. I reviewed that body cam footage, and it was clear to me that there was a miscount of $390.
And can you explain to us what it was about the body cam footage that led you to that conclusion?
Well, it's just also not the video footage. It also includes audio. So video and audio together assisted me to determine this, but it's clearly on video. Do you want me to explain?
Please do. Yeah.
So what Detective Newland does in counting this money was, you can see as he starts, he lays two $100 bills.
I find it interesting that they feel the need to explain this in depth. I feel like it would probably be okay to just say, on the video, I watched him count the money, and it was the amount that was returned to Mr. Foreman, I think is Afroman's name.
On the ground. You can clearly see that. And as he's counting the money, you can see it in body cam video, such as I'll demonstrate as I'm talking. And you can hear him count. With $200 on the ground, you can hear him count 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then he shuffles the money. And then when he lays
Bumble Homestead says he needed more fingers free for counting. And Zarek Shadow says, having watched your coverage, I feel each cop's case of defamation got progressively weaker. The first cop was accused of being a pedophile. Well, I can see how you'd be able to make the case out of that. But Lemon Pound Cake Cop and Afroman Fucked My Wife cop's cases were basically he said mean things about me. Yeah, I feel bad about Lisa. It's not illegal what he said about her, but it was pretty cruel and was beyond, I think, the realm of what is reasonable for what is essentially a diss track. The pedophilia thing, I think it's probably over a line to an extent, but there's already precedent. Like, I don't know if it would apply to this case, but, like, Elon Musk was also sued for calling someone a pedophile, and he got off, and it was determined not to be defamatory. So I don't know. I guess that's okay. But yeah, Lemon Pound Cake, that was really fucking stupid. Who cares about that?
down on the $200, he lays a single $100 bill down, and now he's counting 7, 8, 9, 10. So what he's counting as $1,000 is
She did disconnect the cameras.
clearly that he
I don't think that's okay to, like, make fun of, like, her voice or the way she looks, though.
only has $600 in the pile.
Should have focused on stuff similar to, like, when he said the other cop's wife fucked him. Obvious diss track bullshit that basically means nothing except it makes people go, ooh, you know?
And as he continue on with the body cam video footage, he makes piles of 100. And there's several piles of 100, hence over $4,000.
Why are we listening to this detective's testimony instead of being shown the body cam footage? They may show it in conjunction with this testimony. Not sure.
But as he's
After this guy, we have Afroman, though, so that's nice.
collecting the money from the piles that he made, he collects. You can clearly see on body cam where he's collecting as $100. It actually contains $110. Now you can clearly see this on body cam video where there's a $50 bill underneath 320s. He picks that up and he collects it as 100, but it's clearly 110.
Yeah, he wore the flag suit every day of the trial.
He had a pile over to, in the video footage, you see it on his left side. He's got a pile over there and he counted of $90. So he has 3 piles of 100s now in front of him. He picks that up and he picks up what he collected as $90 and he calls it $390. So he writes down on a piece of paper $4,390, when in fact the $390 doesn't really exist.
And your review of the body cam convinced you that that was the source of the discrepancy between the $4,000 that was actually in the bag and the $4,390 that was written on the bag?
Absolutely.
Now, you mentioned a second
If they don't show the video, I think they should. That's probably just my personality, though. I automatically don't trust cops.
pile of money.
Zarek Shadow with 6 months says, Afroman's fixation on Lisa was very mean-spirited and showed his bigotry. I still think the case is bullshit, and I'm glad Afroman won, but I think he's an ass. I think that's a completely reasonable place to be. That's pretty much where I'm at about it. Like, I find this case funny, because it's nice to see certain cops kind of get told, hey, people can criticize you. Afroman kind of seems like a dipshit, though. That, like, I don't know. Like, when I looked up more about his opinion on Trump after the first day of the trial, when, like, there was stuff about him and Trump, and I wanted to look into how much he's about the Trump thing. He didn't vote for Trump in 2024 because Afroman himself is running. He seems like he's an out-of-touch rich guy, basically, who doesn't really have opinions on things unless they directly affect him. So that's where I'm at with it. It is what it is. I didn't have to personally like him to enjoy the show that we're getting because of him.
Or a second bunch of money that was collected from the from another floor or another room. Can you tell us about your investigation into that alleged discrepancy?
Yes. So in watching that body footage, now this is the monies, I guess, that were uncovered in another room of the home. I could not make a determination like
How many votes did he get? That's a good question. I'll look.
I could on the other count. It just didn't provide me a clear. It was counted as $641 was what was written on the packaging material that was used, and counted as 641. When in essence, I believe when it was returned to the homeowner, I believe $631 was actually in the bag, a $10 discrepancy. I couldn't account for that on body video or the audio displayed, so I couldn't come to a conclusion to that amount.
So you, for this $10 discrepancy between 631 and 641, you were not able to determine one way or the other.
That's correct.
What happened to that money?
Sorry, I'm looking. It's just a long list of random crazy people that ran that year.
On the $390 discrepancy, you were able to conclude what happened?
Absolutely.
And did you draw any conclusions at all about the $10 discrepancy, even though you couldn't see anything on video?
Yeah,
I can't find any specific data about how many people voted for Afroman. There's a lot of data for even other, like, random one-off candidates that do have the information, but he was apparently so small that he isn't even on the main list of candidates for this. He's under C also on Wikipedia. So I would say he probably got about a dozen votes, if that. Probably him, some friends or family. That would be my guess. I don't think it was a very successful campaign.
I didn't conduct an interview with Detective Nolan. I didn't find it necessary, but I couldn't come to a conclusion of the 10.
To be clear, he is under Vermin Supreme, if that gives you an idea of how few votes he got. Vermin Supreme is on the main list. Afroman is on C also.
And I don't think it would be so far forward for me to conclude that that might have been a miscount. But again, I couldn't come to that conclusion. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. And did you know Detective Newland before you started this investigation?
No.
Did you know anybody or have any relationship with anybody who was involved in this,
They're cops. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he personally knows him. Cops are going to protect other cops. At least that's how I feel about cops.
that you were...
I know that's not a general opinion. It probably is amongst people in this audience for pretty obvious reasons, but generally I know that's not a very popular opinion. I just wouldn't trust it. I would like him to show the video, or at least stills of the video illustrating this. I don't trust his testimony alone. Why would I?
Counting and investigating.
No.
Did you issue a report?
Speaking of rappers turned presidential candidates, did you see Kanye West was blocked from entering the UK? I will say, as influential as he was, anyone still touting themselves as a fan of Kanye is a huge red flag for me. I did see that. That was very satisfying to hear. I agree as well. Speaking on, like, people who have been maybe canceled in the past or whatever, trying to have comebacks and stuff, I feel like I'm losing my mind over the Michael Jackson movie that's coming out. What happened? Did everyone get amnesia and forget the part where he's a child molester, most likely? And the movie's not going to cover it, like, at all. It doesn't even cover the time period, I think, where the allegations took place. But people are just going to go see a Michael Jackson movie that's like, woo, Michael Jackson! Like, who was that guy from the UK? Jimmy Savile. Imagine if they made a movie about Jimmy Savile and how great he is and all his charity work, but never mentioned all of the child molestation. That's what Michael is, and it's driving me crazy.
As a result of your investigation.
I did.
And is that report part of, kept in the public record as part of your normal duties as a detective?
Yes.
Could we have, what exhibit is that, Natalie?
31.
Thank you.
Leaving Neverland got pulled, so it can only be bootlegged now? Are you serious? That was a good documentary. I liked that. Holy shit, that's fucked up. Did the family, like, threaten a lawsuit or something?
Okay, we're showing you exhibit 31, Detective Robinson, and it looks like, first of all, do you, from this little snippet we're looking at here from the first page, do you recognize this as part of the report you issued?
I do.
And it looks like the report date is December 8th of 2022. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
There was a lawsuit threat, the same family who are buds with Razor Fist. Oh my god, of course they're in some way related to Razor Fist. For those that don't know, Razor Fist put out like a multi-part YouTube series years ago where he was defending Michael Jackson and had all the stupidest defenses I've ever heard. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on this. Sorry, I've dwelled on it too long already.
And then can you go to the second page of the report, please? And then the third page of the report. And do you recognize this, Detective, as the beginning of your narrative report of your investigation and the results contained in it?
Yes.
And we don't need to take time right now to review everything, but down at the last sentence of the second paragraph, you wrote, "The monies returned did not equal to what was indicated that had been originally removed from the home." Did I read that correctly?
You read it correct.
And that's referring to this cash discrepancy that you just talked about.
Correct.
And then let's go down a little bit further. And there in your report, there's some numbers there on the left, 1 through 7, with various numbers. What are those and why are those there? Just give us a little snippet of what you're doing.
I mentioned that I wanted to conduct an audit of the monies coming in that were brought in to the sheriff's office by deputies, detectives, agents, what have you, from scenes, to see if there's a pattern or an
Bohemian Rhapsody sucked. I know it's beating a dead horse. I know it's already been done to death. There's a million video essays, but the music biopic formula is shit. The last good biopic of a musical I saw was Rocket Man. That was years ago.
There were nearly 7.
Spongy Lord, thanks for a 25 stream streak, says I watched 3 or so of Razor Fist's videos about heavy metal, knowing nothing about him before that, and then in one of them he went on a rant about Rob Halford being an, quote, F-slur. Yikes.
Items, 60-something
That
items.
always does suck. Sometimes you'll get into a YouTuber and you're like, oh, this is a new YouTuber I haven't listened to, and then like midway through video 3 or something you're listening to, they'll say something that makes you go, fuck, they're a chud. That's never a great feeling.
Items that we counted, we actually broke open the packages, examined what was on the packaging, the amount, and then physically counted the money in each package. In almost those nearly 70 packages, we did find 7 discrepancies.
I think that was Internet Historian for me, was my jump scare chud when I first found him.
And that money, and those money counts by various deputies, detectives, agents, whoever brought those in. I don't have that list, but of those 7 discrepancies, 3 contained monies that were less than what was indicated on the package, with the highest amount being $5. 4 of those discrepancies, 4 of the 7, actually contained more money that was in the packaging that was listed on the packaging, and that highest amount being $2.40. And a lot of this involved some coin change, if you will.
Okay. And Detective, what did you conclude as a result, if anything, as a result of this investigation into the whole evidence room here at Adams County?
You know, this didn't cause any red flags to us that that there was a huge issue or anything. That this is a common mistake of counting money and coin. It really didn't send us a red flag.
And then let's turn to the, no, hang on once, I'm sorry. Yeah, while we're still at this page at the very bottom, this is simply, I think, reciting what you've just testified to. Can you just read that for us, starting with while counting out? Can you see your computer monitor, or is it?
Can you see it on this one?
Is that easier or
That's
not?
better.
Is it okay? Yeah.
Well,
You need
Feel
to-
free. Yeah, no. We can blow it up a little
well,
too.
that's fine. While counting out 100 bills, two $100 bills was placed down on the ground and counted aloud by Detective Nolan as being 2. The counting continues, 3, 4, 5, 6. Though you don't have a clear view of these bills being counted, the audio suggests that he has counted to the number 6. There is a pause and it goes on.
You can't see it on video, and he knows he's being recorded. Again, I'm not saying the money was definitely stolen. I do not know. I genuinely do not know. But if the cop knows that he's being recorded, if he's gonna steal the money, would it not make some sort of sense? No, because then he would count it incorrectly on purpose in order to hide the amount. So fair enough. Okay. I got backwards on that. If they were trying to intentionally obfuscate the fact that they were stealing, there wouldn't be any discrepancy. They would just say an incorrect amount when they're actually counting it. So verbally, there's a record of them counting it the incorrect number so that no one notices the theft. So, okay. Never mind.
What seemingly is the arranging of monies in hand while the two $100 bills remain on the floor. Next you hear 7, and a $100 bill is placed atop of the other 2 on the floor. This is followed.
Mossloth says, my boyfriend lost a job at Cables for missing pennies from the till, but somehow this sheriff's department is allowed to suck at counting. They'd all get fired from gas stations.
By 8, 9, and 10. This completes the pile the detective has established and collects it as $1,000. When it appears that he actually has $600. The video audio continues, and after
How do you fuck up counting hundreds, by the way? It's a decimal system.
counting out piles of
10 hundreds, 1,000. You do that a number of times that you have $100 bills, and then you count the stacks.
money totaling $100 each, he begins collecting these piles, making a pile of 1,000. He makes 4 piles that appear to be totaling $4,000. With 4 piles remaining, 3 piles were collected and totaled as $300. And the third pile collects as $100. It is clear that it contains $110. This is what I was testifying earlier. A $50 bill and 3 $20 bills. The fourth pile he adds with the other 3 and states on audio $390 and records on a piece of paper $4,390. Though he records $4,390, the video audio suggests to me that he actually has $4,000. I believe this accounts for the alleged missing $390 associated with item number 1.
All right, thank you. And then you also describe your conclusion with the second bag, and I don't know that we need to read that. The jury will have it back in the jury room if they want to, but essentially you weren't able to account for the $10 from the second bag, is that right?
Yeah, and reviewing that video footage and watching and listening, I couldn't make a determination to that amount.
All right. And do you know?
So your hypothesis of what happened doesn't even equal the correct amount? There's a $10 like leftover that isn't accounted for? That doesn't speak highly to your hypothesis, if I'm being honest. Again, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I don't think it's unreasonable for someone to potentially believe that they've been stolen from in this circumstance. And that's what's going to be important, because you have to prove actual malice. And if he truly believed that they stole from him, that's not actual malice, which I think is one of the big reasons that he didn't get found liable for any of this.
Was this amount of $4,390 on the first bag, was that written on the bag or somewhere in relation to the bag?
He writes it on a piece of paper. I don't recall if it was written on the bag.
And he puts it in the bag then? Is that your
I
understanding?
believe that's what was done,
All
yes.
right. And the video shows that?
Yes.
There are two bags. The first bag's where he made the hypothesis about. The second is where he stated he has no idea what caused the discrepancy. Thank you.
Detective Robinson, was your report available to the public if anyone asked for it?
I would believe it would be, yes.
Do you know if Mr. Foreman here or anyone else associated with him ever asked for a copy of your report?
I wouldn't know that.
Ashley with 50 bits and a link. Let's see where this takes us.
What does incompetent mean?
What's that from?
What does incompetent mean?
That looks so familiar. Don't tell me. I can name this movie. I can name this movie. Head-Hunted Cops 0. This isn't one of the Maniac. Oh, wait, is this? Oh, headhunting. It's Highlander. Because they cut off their heads. Okay. All right. I need to rewatch Highlander again.
All right, I don't know that.
Here we are, born
Okay.
to be.
Those are all my questions. Thank you very much.
We have the cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Watch the show. I plan on it. I have it. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Still finishing SG1. Why did the Highlander cast a French guy to play a Scotsman and a Scotsman to play an Egyptian? Don't question it. Just listen to the Queen music and enjoy the ride.
So Detective Robinson, you did an investigation into, at the request of the Adams County Sheriff at that time, correct?
Correct.
And you actually went farther than he asked for. You actually went and did a complete audit of all 66 money bags in evidence.
I wouldn't say that that was farther. It was part of the investigation.
So he asked for you to audit.
That was my idea.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at there. And out of those
Sorry, I was looking at my copy of Highlander 2. I was double checking it's still up there.
66 exhibits, did you attach to your report a itemization of them?
Correct.
Okay. And each one you say the amount stated and the amount counted and whether it matched or not?
Correct.
You also indicate if the bag was sealed or not?
I did not indicate that, but they were all sealed when we examined them.
Okay.
Did I think someone stole my Highlander 2 copy? It's possible. It is the better edit of Highlander 2, for the record.
Oh,
No, mine is not the Planet Zeist cut. It's the one that makes it not Planet Zeist, which is why it's the better cut. Although I wouldn't mind a copy of the Planet Zeist cut. That would be good too. It's a bad movie, but I would like to own that version. How far into SG1 are we? Season 9.
okay. So I'm putting, this is a further amount of exhibit 31 of the plaintiff.
I do have Highlander, the animated series, around here somewhere too.
And so this would be the spreadsheet that you attached to your report?
Yeah, and actually, yeah, that's correct. And
Did you know there was a Highlander, the animated series, that takes place in the future? And it follows, what the fuck is his name? Quentin MacLeod. A future version of the MacLeods. It's not very good. It's not very good.
it obviously states that there were some found what we indicated to be open.
And that would be unsealed?
Yes,
So when it says open on here, it means unsealed?
that's what we put in there, yeah.
Did I know that cartoon is on Amazon Prime? No, don't need it to look on Amazon Prime. I have the Blu-ray, and it's on Tubi. Tubi is a great repository of forgotten kids shows. So if you're into like weird, obscure kids cartoons or shows from back in the day, check out Tubi. They really need to pay me for how much I mention Tubi. Altered Undying says, I really enjoyed it when I watched, but the bar wasn't very high at the time. No.
Did you note whether each evidence bag actually had like the number of denominations, like 7 $5 bills, 10 $10 bills? Did you note that?
And Tubi's free. It is ad-based, but it is free. Why am I shilling for fucking Tubi?
Okay. Did you get a chance to observe the packaging that the original money?
You might be able to watch it like online with an ad blocker if you use an ad blocker. I don't know if that works on Tubi.
Was in that was returned to Mr. Foreman?
I believe so. I don't recall what that looked like, but I believe we had that ability, yes.
So you don't remember if there was the bills written on it, so many 5s, so many 10s and such?
Stone
I
Corbell,
don't.
thanks for a 7-stream streak, says this stream not brought to you by Tubi. Zarek Shadow says, what are your go-to examples of film series that start great but ended or are currently in shit territory? Hellraiser, except the most recent one they did for Hulu, was pretty good, but all the direct-to-DVD Hellraiser movies are just trash.
Okay. But if you had noted that, that would be in your report?
Not necessarily.
Why not?
I'm concerned with the total amount, really not, I wasn't concerned by denominations, but I don't recall if that was on the packaging or not.
But you would agree if you put the number of denominations of each series of bill that was in there on the front of the bag, you could determine whether you miscounted or not just by doing multiplication.
I'm not sure. Perhaps, maybe.
You're not sure you can do multiplication, or you're not sure that you can count up that?
Well, again, I don't know if those denominations were listed on the bag or not.
Okay.
I just know what the video clearly shows me.
But you said it wasn't clear in the video. You used the audio for the first bag.
So let's ask that question. There was 8 hours of body cam footage. How much body cam footage did you watch?
I watched all of the body cam footage, but focused my attention on the money count.
You watched
You watched all 8 hours? I'm skeptical.
all 8 hours.
I watched, well, I didn't count how long it was, but I reviewed I had the entire body cam footage. I reviewed the
You had the entire body cam footage?
body cam footage, but I had the entire body cam footage. I reviewed the body cam footage.
I had the entire body cam footage. I viewed the body cam footage. Weird language I think he's using around this.
Cam footage, but focused my attention on the money count.
You watched all 8 hours.
I watched, well, I didn't count how long it was, but I reviewed I had the entire body cam footage.
Like he stopped himself from directly saying, I reviewed all the body cam footage. He was about to say it, but then he stopped himself from specifically saying that. You know what I mean?
Reviewed the body cam footage, but I focused my attention on the money count. Now, if it was 8 hours, I couldn't say.
Okay. So, but you never put in your report anything about the money being left unattended or anything like that you would saw on the body cam?
It wasn't my concern if the money was left unattended because, again, after reviewing the body cam footage and the count, and it was listed as $4,390. That's what was listed on the bag when the homeowner came to collect his money, and I believe to be $4,000 in that bag, and $4,000 was returned.
Okay. So there was a number here in your report. You talk about
We're like 15 minutes away from Afroman.
Do you recall what the total amount that was listed on the bag one was? You said it was how much?
I don't know if it was listed on the bag or not. I know that he was writing down in the body cam footage on a piece of paper, and I couldn't tell what the number was, but I could hear what he was writing because he was saying it as he was writing it, 4,390.
Okay. So he wrote $4,390 on a piece of paper with the bills.
Yes.
And that was put in an evidence bag.
If, to my recollection, yes.
And so your investigation, it's off by $390
On that money count.
on the first count.
Item 1, yeah.
And then the second count is off by how much?
It was written as $641 or listed as $641, and I believe the money that was returned was $631 when they counted it. So $10.
Okay. But you can't determine today what happened with that.
That $10, no, sir, I can't.
But you do make an allegation in your report what happened to it, correct?
I indicated in my report that confirming the miscount of monies of $390, it would not be so far to believe that it was a miscount of that money. But again, I couldn't come to any conclusion of what happened to that $10.
So when you said in your report, therefore, due to the history of proven miscount of money with item 1, it would not be so far as to believe a miscount of money occurred in item number 2?
Correct, that's what I wrote.
But you never put anything in here after that that said that you could not determine that and that was just your guess.
Well, I certainly couldn't determine it, but I didn't. That's not written in my report as word per word what you indicated.
Well, if your report's open to the public, shouldn't it be accurate?
It is accurate.
You're saying today, though, that you can't determine, but you said here in your report that you can determine. So explain to me what's accurate about that.
I indicate that it wouldn't be so far to believe that it was a possible miscount of the $10.
His verbiage is weakening. His verbiage is weakening. That's good. This defense attorney's pretty good.
But it doesn't go on farther in that same paragraph after that to say that you could not determine it.
No, it doesn't say that.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So that's
Okay.
not, this is not accurate to your testimony.
But that's exact. I mean, that's the fact. I cannot determine.
And so that should be in the
Scared to find out the lawyer's a piece of shit.
report here.
But that happens sometimes. Remember how great Eileen Cannon was as the judge in the Darrell Brooks trial? And then it turned out she was like a right-wing judge that was trying to run for the Supreme Court. Ugh, glad she lost.
I believe by reading that, you can believe that it cannot be determined.
Oh, sorry, I said the wrong judge's name. What's her name? What's her name? Shit. Why am I blanking? Was it the wrong judge? Hold on.
That's how you read it.
That's how I read it.
Okay.
You're right. Cannon was Trump's person
And
in
you
Florida.
interviewed Mr. Foreman,
Judge in
correct?
Darrell
I didn't interview Mr. Foreman.
Brooks.
Who did you interview in relation to this?
I didn't interview
Jennifer Darrow.
anybody in this
Thank you.
situation.
She did try to run for Supreme Court. All that was correct. She just wrong name. My bad.
Not even
Brain
Dee
fart.
Russo, the evidence technician?
Yeah, she was with us when we did the audit.
So you interviewed her?
It wasn't an interview,
Well, what was it then?
just indicating of what, providing what we needed as far as the audit concerned and the money count. And she was with us when the money was being counted.
So not to be mean to Dee, but so she was what, just fetching and carrying the evidence for you?
Well, she's in charge of the evidence property room, and that's how we made contact with her.
But you didn't sit there and ask her what she saw when she counted the money when it was returned to Mr. Foreman?
I didn't ask her that, no.
I'd like you to look at the second to last paragraph. I submitted a subpoena for the raw footage from Channel 19. Why would you submit for the footage of a news agency when you could have interviewed one of the people standing in the room there because she was with you the whole time as the evidence technician?
Well, I thought the raw footage may involve some assistance in while counting money, so that footage was in reference to the money being counted or returned to the homeowner.
So that footage is more important than a witness who stood there, who had power over it, whose duty was the responsibility to watch that?
I think video and audio are just as important. Just as in this case where it's clear for item number 1 with a miscount of the 390.
Okay. But your audit showed a discrepancy of over 10%
of all of the money and evidence, correct?
I think it was 66 items and 7 discrepancies, with the largest one being $5.
So roughly.
So whatever that percentage is,
Okay. So roughly about 10% then.
roughly.
And each one of those was only off by less than $10 either way, correct?
Yes, less than $10. It's $5 and less, yes.
Okay. So even by your own audit, the second count, which is off by $10, is actually even an anomaly compared to the other 10% that was miscounted.
I'm not sure what you mean by anomaly, or are you saying it's unusual, or?
No, let's not get to unusual yet. So let's go back to your testimony.
Like, in particular, I think this lawyer is good at the plaintiff attorney, of course, is trying to build up this particular witness as borderline an expert, the way he was describing his qualifications at the beginning of him coming to the stand. But I think the defense attorney does a great job of really stripping that down and taking his statements and delegitimizing them. Like, it doesn't feel overly antagonistic. It feels inquisitive, and by answering the questions, they themselves tend to reveal that their claims are more frail than at first they appear in the way they confidently express them upon direct examination, you know?
Okay, so you testified during your audit. You had 3 that indicated less, with the most being indicated missing $5 as a miscount, correct?
That is correct.
You then found 4 that had more money than listed, with a highest being $2.40, correct?
Correct.
So $10 is more than you found in the 10% audit, correct?
Yes.
Who did you send a copy of your report to?
I can't recall if I sent any copies. I may have. I just don't recall.
You sent a copy of Mr. Foreman, though?
3 quick blinks in succession.
I don't recall sending a copy to Mr. Foreman.
Okay.
I don't think he likes how this cross-examination is going. Wow, he's blinking a lot now. Again, I'm not a body language, like, person. Feels like he's uncomfortable, though. Or maybe his eyes are just the driest eyes in the state. Who knows? Crazy how little the plaintiff's attorney is objected throughout his case. I mean, the judge jumps in for him half the time. He doesn't even need to.
Did you look at the return on the search warrant?
I did not.
But as far as you know, it would have an...
Sounds like the general community didn't care for these cops. I think that's the case in pretty much every small town that has a bunch of good old boy cops. They're usually people that are... I'm not going to stereotype. I won't stereotype. Just as someone who lived in a very small community, people did not like the cops in that community. They were all people who graduated from the local high school, who didn't do anything, and just wanted to stick around and be bullies to people they used to go to school with, basically.
Correct amount of money on it due to the miscount?
The search warrant return should have $4,390 as one count and $641 as the other count.
Which adds up to over $5,000?
Yes.
Did my family ever have a run-in with those local cops? My cousin was drunk on his four-wheeler and he was getting pulled over by the cops, but instead of pulling over because he was very drunk on a four-wheeler on a public road, he ran from the cops on his four-wheeler. I think he straight up went through some people's farm fields, came to my parents and I's house late at night, and asked to hide out from the cops there. So he stayed the night drunk, and his four-wheeler was like hidden in our garage because he was running from the cops for a DUI. My mom has multiple DUIs. I don't know if it was those cops that got her or people in the adjacent city, but she has multiple DUIs, some of which I had to go pick her up from. My dad's also an alcoholic, but he gets drunk at home, so.
Okay. If I may have a second now.
Your Honor, no further questions for this witness at this time.
Redirect.
Detective Robinson, we're going to pull up this report one more time, and let me ask you just a couple questions about it to clarify what happened here. What exhibit is
Any prison time? Not for my mom. She got her license revoked at some point.
this, Natalie? 31?
Yes. I think she still drove sometimes, though.
Looking at
I've been no contact with both my parents for years now, though, so I don't really know what they're up to these days.
exhibit
Nor do I wish to know.
31 again, the last page of your report, Detective.
Ooh, he's pulling out the glasses. That's important. I keep forgetting to wear my glasses for stream. I really need to wear them more often when I'm reading.
We're gonna have to reset it.
Assistant Judge?
You have the whole report in paper form.
I wonder,
What do I need to read for? Reading your comments! I know you're probably joking.
Just use the document.
we could do that.
Set it down on the document.
Mine is marked up.
Your Honor, mine is not. We could use
Thank
mine.
you. Thank you for the accommodation.
Your Honor, mine, just for the record, mine does have one thing at the top that says Plaintiff's Exhibit 31, so I know what it is when I refer to it.
We're just going to use this one page.
Thank you. Flip the switch back.
Yep.
He's resetting it. I hope that doesn't mess us up here.
And she's great when it works.
Have 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Wow. Took a while to set this up.
Don't say a word.
From the bottom.
There we go.
Okay, Detective Robinson, we have this Exhibit 31 back up on the screen. And the page we're looking at has a second to the last paragraph there from the bottom. And you wrote, as I'm reading it, as to evidence item number 2 and the alleged missing $10 from the counted and recorded $641, I cannot determine from the body cam footage the amount possibly collected. Did I read that correctly?
You did.
And was that true?
That's true.
That's an accurate representation of your conclusion?
Yes.
While we're on this page, and since Mr. Osborne asked you a question about Channel 19 footage, I want to ask you about the short paragraph right above the one we just looked at, where you wrote, I would like to I would like to note that a news article published by WXIX reporter Ken Baker on August 30th, 2022, a week after the execution of the search warrant, the homeowner reported that investigators removed $4,000 from his home. Why was that important for you to include in your report?
I felt that if this money was collected, I believe, if I recall correctly, from some clothing, an article of clothing, maybe in a pocket or something of that sort, that it would be strange to have 4,390 tucked away like that. It would make more sense if you had $4,000 maybe tucked away. And when I saw this article, I found it of some interest, so I put that in my report.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank
I don't think that's necessarily true, especially because he's like a musician that does gigs. It's entirely possible he had an arrangement at certain bars or clubs where he was performing that said he got a certain cut of the profits or something, and they might have paid him in cash. I have no idea. There's so many reasons he might have cash, and it's not illegal to have a random amount of fucking cash on you.
you.
Read, Cross.
Just a couple questions, Your Honor. So Detective Robinson, you found the news article of interest?
He said he got that show from money from doing a show at Red Rocks. Yeah, that makes sense to me that they'd pay him in cash sometimes. Sometimes he might get a check. Sometimes it's probably cash.
Is that correct?
Yes.
More interest in interviewing anybody who was there, Brian Newland, Mr. Foreman, or anything?
I didn't find
Eric
it.
Shadow says, I always wonder how washed out celebrities continue making a living. Conferences a lot of the time. As a washed up YouTuber, you just stream. I guess.
Necessary to interview them.
So this news article, though, would have occurred before Mr. Foreman got back his money, correct?
All I recall and what I documented is that it was a week after the search warrant execution.
Do you even know when he got back his money?
Not off the top of my head.
So you don't know if he got it back a week or 10 months later? Is that correct?
Well, he didn't get it back a week later.
So when
but
he
he got
made
it-
that statement, he
I
did not
can't
have his
recite to
money,
you.
correct?
I'm sorry.
When he made that statement to the news, he did not have his money back, correct?
I don't know that for sure.
Mr.
But I don't believe he
Robinson,
did.
How about let him finish? It's easy to step on each other. Go ahead, Mr. Osborne.
Mr. Robinson, let's cut the crap on this. You said he didn't have back his money a week after the raid, right?
I don't know when he got the money back. I don't recall the date. I'm assuming that it was a week after the search warrant execution that he did not have his money returned.
So when he made that statement, you would assume he did not know or have his money back from the police department at that time.
Are you saying he didn't know the amount of money, or
I'm asking you, based on what you just testified to, did he have back his money a week after the raid?
no? I don't believe he did.
Okay. Did you call Ken Baker?
No, I did not.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Redirect.
No redirect, Judge.
Go ahead and step down. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is Sovsit T Strawman still around? Yes. The novelty of a puppet wears off quickly. Especially when you're not a particularly good puppeteer.
Rolling.
They're gonna play because I got high. I can't play that, obviously. Ba-da-da-da. But then I got high. Come on, stop playing it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
My name is Joseph Edgar Foreman.
You are known under the
Surprised they're letting him wear sunglasses. I don't think you're supposed to wear sunglasses in court. It's kind of like a hat.
stage name as Afroman, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you create music videos and do performances, is
Yes,
that
sir.
right? How many states of the United States have you performed in, do you think?
All of them.
All 50.
Yes, sir.
And how many countries have you performed in?
I don't remember, but not all of them. But
Just a Peach with a Tip says, we just found out Afroman's lawyer worked for NASA, has a double major, a PhD, and studied law in Iceland, so in a foreign language. Oh, cool.
I've been to a few.
How many live performances did you do last year, roughly?
I don't know, possibly 250. I don't know, but
Imagine writing a single song about getting high, and then you're just set for the rest of your life. The economy's weird.
I don't know. That's a lot of days, but I don't know exactly.
And you have a residence here in Adams County, correct?
Yes, sir.
Little Siberian Bear, thanks for following.
You've been performing for 20 or
Hey,
30
Captain.
years, is that right?
All my life.
All right. And is it fair to say that one of the first big hits you had was But Then I Got High?
Because I got high.
Because I Got High? And do you think it's accurate to say that that song has had over 300 million views on YouTube?
Sounds right.
You have a large presence on social media, obviously, correct?
Depends on your definition of large. There's bigger people than me, but I'm all right.
And on Instagram, is it fair to say that you have 247,000 followers?
Yeah, I just got some of them the other day.
I wonder why.
You got new ones coming all the time.
Yes, not all the time, just here lately.
Because the trial's coming up.
Yeah, all the publicity from the officer's lawsuit me is running up my numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels like a fuck you from the stand, doesn't it? Oh, you thought this was gonna make me make fun of you less? Thanks for the publicity.
And on YouTube, you have almost 1 million followers, 983,000. Is that right?
I haven't looked. It was 977 last time I looked.
And on TikTok, you have about 392,000 followers.
I haven't looked in it, but that sounds kind of right.
You know when you post something,
Chitara says it feels like they tried to go, see, he does drugs though, but recreational weed is legal in Ohio, one of the only redeeming qualities of that hellscape, though I'm a Michigander, so I'm biased.
that a lot of people are going to see.
Stay in Michigan. It's much better than Ohio. The people are nicer, less MAGA, or at least fewer MAGA. We also have legal weed. It's a decent place. Come to Michigan.
Don't you?
Yes.
When this search happened back in August of 2022, Mr.
Do
Foreman,
YouTubers know and track their numbers that closely to quote it to multiple digits? I know mine,
you weren't at home.
roughly. I check it at least once a day. And I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm a very, very small... It's just something you look at.
No.
You were driving home from Chicago,
Yes.
and you got an alert from a family member that the sheriffs were there searching your home. Is that right?
Yes.
And you were able to turn on your phone and watch through your home security system what the deputies were doing for a period of time, weren't you?
Yes.
And is it fair to say you were angry and upset about this search?
I wasn't happy.
I got that impression.
And is that why you posted the things we've seen this week, because you weren't happy?
No, I posted it because the sheriff's never supposed to raid my house in the first place. The whole raid was a mistake. All of this is their fault. If they hadn't wrongly raided my house, there would be no lawsuit. I would not know their names. They wouldn't be on my body. They wouldn't be on my home surveillance system. And there would be no songs, nothing. My money
I'm
would
surprised they're letting him go on. This is almost opining.
still be intact, nothing. So all of this is their fault.
Because, like, that wasn't the question that was asked. I'm actually really surprised they let him say that and didn't stop him.
And because they executed a search warrant on your home, that gave you the right to post the things that we've seen this week on the internet?
Because
Is that right? Is that right, Mr. Foreman?
yes, for
Yes.
tearing down my door, not paying for it, not being apologetic, me being a sport, doing something peaceful to raise the money to pay for their damages, me having the right of the freedom of speech as an American to talk to my family, friends, and fans about what the sheriffs did to my home. Yes, I had the right to my freedom of speech. After they left, I had the right to kick the can and to do what I had to do to repair the damage they brought to my house. Yes, I did.
That includes the right to post the videos that you've just been posting up until Friday and beyond, right?
Yes, I have freedom of speech. I'm a rapper. I entertain. I write fiction, comedy. Yes, I mean, I entertain for a living like you practice law for a living. So I have to go to work.
The deputies left a warrant return at your house, didn't they?
I think they left something with my ex-wife. I'm not sure.
Well, you saw, as soon as the search was over, as soon as you got home, you saw a document that showed exactly how much cash had been taken from the house, correct?
I know I got paid $5,000 for the show that suit was in. I forgot that money was in that suit. But I heard, I don't know what piece of paper I heard. I knew they took.
So he's claiming it's even more than the discrepancy they're claiming. He's saying it's supposed to be $5,000.
Some money. I just knew they took some money. I knew it was 4,000-ish. I knew they took some money and they seized some money and some.
Oh, did he just misspeak the first time?
Some weed.
Because he said 5 and now he said 4.
And some, I don't know what else. Just minor stuff.
You knew how much money was in that pocket when you came home and saw the warrant return, didn't you?
It was $5,000 from back when I did that show. I remember it was $5,000. But anyway.
So is it your testimony that they actually took $5,000?
What a place to be in life where you can forget you have $5,000 in one of your jackets and it makes no material difference to your life.
Instead of
No, I just know.
4,390?
I know when I did that show, it was with Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa at Red Rocks in Denver. The balance of that show for me, they sent in a deposit, but the balance was $5,000. I put the $5,000 in my coat pocket. I got drunk. I got high, and I forgot to get that money, and I hung that suit back up, and that's where they got that money from.
I was gonna put my money in the bank, but then I got high.
So it was $5,000 they got?
Yes, it was $5,000 that was in my suit when I got paid in Red Rocks. Now, after all of this stuff, whatever. It's I don't really know the complete number. It's 46. It's 430. The number bounces up and down. But all I know is I got paid $5,000 at the Red Rocks with Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa when I played the Red Rocks in Denver.
And you got $4,000 returned, right?
I don't know the exact amount.
Well, you were there with the news when you got it.
Right, and the lady at the sheriff's station admitted that the sheriff was short. You can go watch the 19 News.
Objection hearsay?
You knew when you saw the warrant returned, didn't you? That the amount that they were saying was taken was actually more money than was in that suit pocket.
I didn't warrant.
That's why you brought the news to the sheriff's office when you got the money back, because you knew that they had miscounted the money and the number on the evidence bag was actually
I didn't know
more money?
nothing.
It's on video. Is the video and evidence?
The lady at the sheriff department just volunteered the information. I was sitting there, you know, if she had been, I might not even known I got ripped off. She admitted it live on Channel 19 News that the money wasn't right.
You remember in your deposition when I asked you, why did you bring the news when you picked up the money?
Yeah, I didn't want to get beat up or Epstein at the sheriff's station after I seen him running around my house with
What a good answer.
AR-15s. So that's why I brought the news and my attorney. So to make sure I got out of that.
What a strange question anyway. It's not illegal for him to bring the news. You're making this so much worse. Is it illegal for him to bring the news? It's not.
Place with my money.
You brought the news to protect you physically.
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't bring the news because you already knew there was a miscount and you were going to make
I didn't know nothing about the
hay out of
discount.
it.
I didn't know. I figured they stole my money. They turned my cameras off. So if you turn my cameras off, you must got something bad in mind. So yeah, I'm accusing them of it. You know, they turned my cameras off. I can't see what they're doing.
So your testimony under oath here today to these 10 jurors is that you brought the news when you picked up your money to protect you physically from being beat up or shot by the sheriffs, right?
I'm sorry, does this man think that this question plays right now in America? Like it's that shocking of an idea that someone who was illegally raided by the police, who took off his cameras, who already have a grudge against him, for him to feel in danger to go to the sheriff's department? That question makes him sound like an idiot, if I'm being honest.
Yes.
All right.
Well, you don't trust our fine officers? No! No!
And they volunteered the information that the money wasn't right. That's just an extra something we found out. But I came with my attorney and the news to make sure the people running around my house with guns didn't take me into jail and do something.
You had a safe in your home, correct?
2 of them.
2 safes. Did the sheriffs look into those safes to your knowledge?
Yes, they
The
did.
deputies?
Yes.
And how did they get the combination?
I gave it to my ex-wife so the sheriffs wouldn't pull my safe out the floor, take it to the station and put something in it and try to say that whatever they put in my safe was mine. So I went ahead and gave my ex-wife, who I didn't want to give my combination to, it was just safer. I went ahead and gave her my combination so they could open up the safe and realize that they just vandalized somebody that don't even have nothing in the safe.
And do you know what was in those safes?
It was absolutely nothing in the safes.
Don't you keep jewelry in those safes?
No,
Didn't
because
you tell me that in your deposition that you keep jewelry in those safes?
I do.
Was anything missing from the safes when you got home after the search?
I didn't put nothing in the safes.
Was anything missing from the safes when you got home?
Nothing was in them, so nothing was missing from the safe.
Is he trying to imply that if they were going to rob him, they would have stolen jewelry? Because that doesn't make sense. Stealing jewelry would be much more difficult because you'd have to fence it, and there would be physical evidence that you were attached to that sale unless you know a fence that's actually off the books and not just like a pawn shop that's questionable morally. You know what I mean? Like, it would make less sense to steal jewelry. Cash is relatively fungible. You can hide cash. You know what I mean? Jewelry you gotta do something with to get money. Chitara says the nonchalant manner he's speaking about losing $4 or $5 grand is reminding me that type of pro-meme stock guy entered the chat during a meme stock meltdown, and Hannah was trying to tell him he was wasting money, and the guy goes, I only lost 10K, I didn't lose that much. He had a realization midstream because everyone in chat was explaining to him that he was financially privileged. It was news to him, apparently. I do remember that. That was very strange.
You talked to Randy Walters on the phone before you got home that evening during the search, or right afterwards, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
He told you that they were taking some money and some vape pens and a small amount of marijuana. He told you that.
Yes, sir.
You knew, didn't you, Mr. Foreman, that there had been an investigation by the Claremont County Sheriff's Office into the discrepancy about the cash that was missing from your home, correct? You knew there was an investigation.
Yeah, I knew the sheriffs was investigating themselves.
Yep.
Oh, that's how
Glad someone said it. That's hilarious.
you saw it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And did you ever
As
ask?
if that's an absurd way to phrase it. That's literally what happened. Are you denying that that's what happened? You might not like his tone, but he literally said they investigated themselves, which they did, as your prior witness attested to. Why are you acting like what he said isn't true?
For a report so you could see how bad this
I think Afroman should do a video about this lawyer and the judge.
investigation of themselves really was.
Yes, I was trying to get involved any way I can. The investigation was going on without any of my participation.
Did you ask for a copy of the report?
I did. I asked for everything. I was trying to be involved. I didn't.
So you've seen the report?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I just saw it a few minutes ago.
Well, you had an attorney when you got the cash returned, correct?
At the station,
Yes.
I had attorney. Yeah, my attorney was present.
Did
when
your
I got my
attorney
cash.
ask for a copy of this report?
It wasn't in it when I got my cash back from the station. It wasn't an investigation until we realized money was missing.
Well, did you contact your attorney and say, hey, get me a copy of that report?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. While Mr. Klingler wants to talk about his client's attorney-client privilege and maybe waive it, Mr. Foreman does have attorney-client privilege with his attorney at that time. And we are going to assert that privilege because it's a privilege he has of right.
And so far, he hasn't asked anything privileged. So I can proceed with sensitivity, overrule the objection, and we'll pay attention.
I'm shocked the judge overruled the defense.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Judge. Your testimony is you never saw a copy of Detective Robinson's report until today.
Yes, sir.
And that's because you didn't want to see a copy of the
I
investigation.
did want to see. You don't know what I want.
Yeah, that's putting words in his mouth. That's ridiculous.
I did want to see it.
You did.
I wanted everything that had something to do with my money coming.
And that
out.
was 3.5 years ago, correct? And you haven't seen a copy of that report that you wanted to see until this afternoon. Is that right?
That's right. I never had my money taken by cops. I didn't know how this go. I don't know about reports. All I know is live on Fox 19 News, the lady admits that her department is short $400 of my money. That's all I know. I don't know how to investigate police officers taking money.
That's all you know, and that's all you know today, isn't it? That's the whole basis of your claim that your money was stolen, is that the amount of money that was in the bags is different from the amount of money that was written on the bag.
Yeah, my
I think that's a pretty reasonable reason.
whole thing is they never
Gitara says there's a magic word that the police department knows that we have a hard time challenging: obstruction.
should have raided me in the first place.
That's your whole thing.
That's my whole thing.
That's the point,
That's my whole
isn't
thing.
it?
If they never would have showed up, there would be no songs about them. I wouldn't know who they are. Their faces would not be on my video cameras. None of this, we wouldn't be in this room right now if they hadn't raided my house and didn't press no charges, didn't even know what they was doing. This whole thing is their fault, and they're suing me
I hope so, Zarek
for
Shadow.
their mistake.
And so you don't really care if they stole your money or not. You're just mad
I
about
do
what
care
they
about
did.
it.
That's a stupid question to ask. Never ask a question that you don't already know the answer to a defendant or to a witness, I'm sorry. You think he's gonna say he doesn't care about the money? No, you're just trying to imply it to the jury so that they take your side.
If they stole one, police
Bad call.
officers shouldn't be stealing the civilians' money. So I do care. All of it is an outrage. This whole thing
Just a Peach with a tip says, Green Guy just gave our 8 cats some nip because we are watching Afroman. I hope they enjoy.
is an outrage.
You have no evidence that they took your money except for the amount on the bag isn't the same.
You have no evidence except this evidence that they investigated themselves for and found no wrongdoing based on assumptions that a guy made based on verbal things happening in a video that were not visible.
Same as the
How
amount.
about the lady admitting that she took?
you answer my-
She admitted that she took my money on live Fox 19 News. Go argue with the film.
Despite the specifics, by the way, what this particular witness is showing, what they're showing about Afroman right now, is regardless of the reality of the situation, he clearly, truly believes that they stole from him, or at least believes it's a strong possibility. So that's destroying the case of the plaintiffs, because he needs to have actual malice to have defamed them. And if he really truly believes this, as he is showing on the stand, there can be no actual malice. Thank you so much for the raid, KF Logan. How is everyone doing? I hope you had a wonderful stream over there. Today we are checking out the Afroman trial. We are at the end of day 2. We are watching Afroman's cross-examination right now. It's a lot of fun, so consider joining. We do court watch a lot. We watch interesting cases. We also debunk conspiracy theories. We talk about sovereign citizens. All sorts of interesting stuff. Make sure you check out KF Logan's channel here on Twitch. There is a link in chat. There's a hats off. Phoenix, what do you want for the hats off? Can you do alien baby hat? I can do the alien baby hat. Hold on. Where's my alien baby hat? I found it. I'm from Gay Space, Texas.
Clip.
Nobody,
Go argue with her admitting that she took my money.
nobody admitted that they took your money.
Well, whatever. Go look at her admitting that the bag is short
Mr.
because it
Foreman.
stayed open all weekend long, or 2 weeks after Brian and Officer Cooley just left it and just mishandled it and didn't do it right.
Just so we're honest with the jury here, Mr. Foreman, nobody admitted that they took your money, did they?
They admitted it was short.
Yes. Nobody
it looked like
admitted
somebody
that they
took it.
took your money. Correct?
It was short. She admitted. She said that it was short.
Scheffler says, what the hell? Alien baby hat. Don't worry about it. It's future technology. The babies protect me from the government psycho waves.
And usually it's 10, 5, $2 missing. How does $400 even come up missing? Odd.
Why is he giving Afroman space to explain why he's suspicious? Again, all we don't need to prove that money was stolen. What we need is to know that Afroman truly believes they stole from him, or reasonably could believe it. The lawyer is giving him tons of room to explain why he truly believes this. This is terrible on this lawyer's part.
You posted videos about Brian Newland doing hard drugs and snitching on his friend, and you posted those based on rumors, didn't you? We can look at your deposition, but before you argue with me, but isn't that a fact that you made those allegations based on rumors
Profane
you
priest.
said you heard?
Profane Priestess says, based on everything, Afroman's suspicions were entirely reasonable. The money was short. What else was he supposed to think? This lawyer, and I would imagine the judge, seem to have it in their heads that if cops investigate themselves and say nothing went wrong, you are supposed to 100% believe them every time, and if you might be suspicious that there's incentive sets that are a little bit foul at play, you're just a crazy person. It's absurd. It's insulting. It is insulting to be treating the testimony of cops like this in 2026.
It's a fact William Newland
Miss Heyer says wholesome streams for the win.
is a convicted pedophile, and Brian Newland is his brother. After I zeroed in on Brian, I asked about him. Come to find out, he's a large statutory rapist that has sex with all kind of underage girls. He buys them beers and gets them drunk and all kind. That's probably the reason he had to leave the Adams County Sheriff Department, because he beats up his wife and he messed with underage girls and he had to get out.
Is this a good time to point out that you can't sue someone for defamation over their testimony in a trial? That's probably a good thing to bring up right now. Your statements in a trial cannot be considered defamation against someone, in case you're curious.
Of town and go get a job in Norwood.
All right. You don't want to answer my question.
I do. Please ask another one.
Well, let me ask this one again so I can get an answer. Do you remember in your deposition when I asked you, you have no reason to think these rumors about Brian
To
Newland
be clear, he's not talking about one of the plaintiffs, it's one of the brothers. I know.
are true, do you? And you said, well, it's more entertaining if it's true, and I can make some money. Remember that?
No, I don't. That's a however long that deposition was. You can read the deposition and it tells you what I said.
Is that true? That's my understanding. It's supposed to protect people's ability to testify freely in court without feeling intimidated.
Another copy of that? Because I'll show it to you, and I can show you my copy. Refresh your recollection.
You're going to refresh his recollection.
It's,
Streams.
thank you, Judge.
I should say, of course, he could still get got for perjury if you are lying on the stand about someone. You could still get caught for perjury. So I'm not telling you to lie, but defamation isn't a thing in that regard.
If I can get it working here.
Your Honor, I would object to using the screen to refresh his recollection. That's publishing it to the jury. If he wants to refresh his recollection, he can show him it and then ask him a question, much how we would do in criminal law with a police report. If an officer didn't remember, we wouldn't show the report. We would show it to the officer. He would refresh his memory by reading it, and then we'd re-ask the question.
Do it that way. Just make sure you think he reads it right. I'm just trying to get through the verbiage.
If Mr.
Just make sure you think he reads it right. Otherwise, I have to wrestle with you about whether he read it right.
Sure.
So just read it. And then if we want to move it as an exhibit, you can do that.
Remember your deposition being taken, Mr. Foreman, in your attorney's office on September 3rd, 2024.
I remember the deposition.
And that deposition was taken in DJ Osborne's office?
Yes, sir.
That's the same office that you used to film that video that we saw last night with the actor playing Lieutenant Lisa Phillips. And that actor was sitting in the same chair that Lisa Phillips sat in during her deposition, wasn't she?
Yeah, the actor played Lisa because I wouldn't have known her if she hadn't came to my house and cut off my camera.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That's the office we're talking about, and that's the office where I took your deposition, right?
Yes, sir.
And in that deposition, I'm referring to page 84 of the deposition. I had asked you
Your Honor, I
about,
object, he's testifying.
No, he's using the deposition to refresh his memory. He's doing it right, so sit down, please. Go ahead.
did I ask you this question, and did you give me these answers, Mr. Foreman? Question, would it be fair to say these are rumors? Answer, you know, Stephanie said it, and you know, some other people that don't remember, you know, I'd be in a hurry in Walmart or something, they shake my hand, yeah, Brian used to do this, used to do that. Then something, I didn't know him, but this is what I've heard. Question, you don't have any...
Again, I don't know why he's reading this. To me, this reads as, these are statements he believed could be true based on things other people had told him. This is, again, flying in the face of actual malice. If he truly believes all these things, or at least reasonably could, that's bad for your case. You know that, right? Why are you laying this out like this? Dublin Poppy, thanks for a 3-stream streak.
Particular reason to think that it's true or not true, right? Answer: well, it's more entertaining if it is true, and I could probably make some money and capitalize on it if it's true.
What are the line numbers?
Starting with line 7 and ending with line 21.
Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10
Did I
tier
ask
1
you those
subs.
questions and you give me those answers?
I don't remember. That was a long time ago. But
But that's my question.
I've always
Thank you.
put Brian Newland next to his brother. So that's
Yeah.
my basis.
1 second, Harold Doubleman said something I missed. Harold Doubleman says because that's not what he wants the jury to conclude. He wants the jury to find Afroman unlikable and, quote, uppity, angry, and argumentative. Basically, if he can hang enough negative stereotypes on him, the actual rules for defamation don't really matter. Well, that fails spectacularly, because whether you like him or not, he's a pretty charismatic guy when he's just talking about this. And it makes the lawyer look like an asshole. Like you can see him trying to box him in, and it makes the lawyer seem untrustworthy. Jay's a proxy with a link says, this energy for the lawyer. Let's see what it is.
Your Honor, I object!
And why is that, Mr. Reed?
Because it's devastating to my case!
Overruled.
Good call!
Love Liar Liar.
And I've always...
Second best legal comedy, Liar Liar.
We noticed that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
your
so-
attorney's going to be able to
And My Cousin Vinny, Liar Liar, Legally Blonde.
ask you whatever questions he wants. Right now, I'd like you to focus on my questions, Mr. Foreman.
We don't talk about jury duty.
You have no evidence that Brian Newland ever molested little boys, do you?
If you look at the picture, he's holding the little boy butt. It's too much for me. So if you
Oh no, your worst nightmare when the defendant you're trying to interrogate is funny. Oh no!
use your eyeballs, and then his brother's a convicted pedophile.
That's your evidence for posting that
Well,
pedophile stuff
Hey, you know,
about
I'm just
little
trying to
boys.
figure out. I'm trying to figure out what kind of guy is kicking on my door. What kind of guy is walking around my house reading my bank statements? It's a dude. It's a dude that's possibly a pedophile, got a convicted pedophile brother, deputized by the sheriff, walking around, possibly stealing my money. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on as I zoom in with my cameras. That's not the type of guy I don't think should be on the police force.
I'm going to refer you again to your deposition. If you don't trust my reading of it, I'm happy to give it to you, Mr. Foreman. But on page 98 of your deposition on that same day, beginning at 9/11, did I ask you this question and did you give me this answer? And again, the only evidence...
Number 16 is the B movie. B movie is partially a legal drama. There's a lot of other weird shit that happens in the movie. But yes, a good portion of it is a legal drama.
You don't have any evidence.
So that should count. Is Ray Liotta in that movie? It's a running joke that Ray Liotta's like a thing in that movie, right? Like there's Ray Liotta honey or something?
That Brian
I need to rewatch B movie.
Newland is a pedophile or plays with little boys. Answer, no, sir. Did I ask you that question? Did you give me that answer?
I don't remember.
What are the line numbers?
Beginning with line 11, ending with line 14 on page 98. You have no evidence that Lisa Phillips stole your money, do you?
I know if she hadn't raided my house, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Nor a lawsuit or nothing. They never should have been at my house.
Since you're not going to answer my question, I'm going to go back to your deposition again, Mr. Foreman, page 102.
Your Honor, if I may, can I just enter a continuing? objection, so I don't have to object every time he does the deposition.
No, it's too important, so please be specific. Thank you.
So I would enter a notation of objection at this point. He is now testifying for the witness. He is no longer refreshing his recollection.
I'll be sensitive to that, so you can rephrase, I'll sustain that. You made the
I'm
conclusion.
shocked he sustained that.
You did memory, so you've got to go back and fix that.
All right, Judge, I will. Thank you. Do you remember telling me in your deposition, Mr. Foreman, that you don't have any evidence that Lisa Phillips stole your money?
Yeah, she cut off the cameras, but I didn't know who took them. I didn't know who took them. So, all the officers was a suspect in the first, at first, because I didn't know where. After the deposition, I realized that Brian Newland was in charge of the money, and I knew where to focus everything. But at first, all the cops was a suspect, especially after they cut off my cameras, and I couldn't see what they were doing.
All right. Well, so you don't remember? Is that what you're telling me?
I remember telling you that Lisa, probably didn't take my money, but I just didn't know. I just knew it was missing, and they cut off my cameras, so all of them were suspects until I figured it out.
So until you figured it out?
Until everybody figured it out, until it was solved of where the missing money was.
All right. So just to clear this up and move on, you admit that you don't have any evidence that Lisa Phillips stole your money?
No.
You literally just testified that at the time he made the claims about her, he didn't know that, though.
But I know
he
she
was
wasn't
suspecting everyone. Again, he has reason to believe this, at minimum.
In the first place, we wouldn't be having this conversation or be here.
And is it true that one of your big motivation, really, in making all of these posts is to make money?
To pay for the damage that they brought to my house under the circumstance that they shouldn't have even been there in the first place.
Okay.
It's also not illegal for someone to make money off their art, even if you're annoyed by their art.
So the answer to my question is yes, your motivation was to make money.
To pay for the damages that they brought to my house under the circumstances that they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Have you made enough yet to make up for it?
Not really.
How much have you made on it?
I don't know exactly, but it wasn't hardly $24,000.
$24,000.
It wasn't that. It wasn't that.
You're still making money on today, right? With the new posts and advertisements and things?
It's publicity.
I think he's overestimating how much money videos on the internet make, the lawyer, or at least he's trying to imply.
Still selling merchandise, aren't you?
No. Publicity, just me, just everybody, thanks to them bringing publicity to this, it's just an opportunity to run numbers up and be an entertainer.
It's probably higher after the trial. I would agree with that.
And the more lies,
the trial brought more attention to it.
Outrageous lies you tell about them, the more money you can make, right?
Fact, they never should have came to my house in the first place. Fact, if they hadn't have came to my house, they wouldn't have put themselves on the video camera and in my music career. All of this is their fact. All of this is their fault, and they have the audacity to sue me. These people and you are the predators and the victim at the same time.
He's good at this. He's pretty good at testifying.
So what they did...
At least in terms of ingratiating yourself, I think, as a real person to the jury. The cops all came off as a bit performative, at least except for maybe Lisa. I know she was actually quite upset about things. But most of the cops seemed quite performative and, how do I put this, tactical in their approach to their answers in a way that he does not. He sounds like he's genuine, whether he is or not. He sounds genuine, and that's very important.
In your house gave you the right to do everything you've
Under
done.
the circumstance that I got freedom of speech, after they run around my house with guns and kick down my door, I got the right to kick a can in my backyard, use my freedom of speech, turn my bad times into a good time. Yes, I do. And I think I'm a sport for doing so, because I don't go to their house, kick down their doors, flip them off on their surveillance cameras, then try to play the victim and sue them.
You were at Lisa Phillips's deposition, correct?
Yes, sir.
In your lawyer's office.
Yes, sir.
Same office where you filmed part of that video last Friday.
Yes, sir.
And you saw how upset she was when she was answering your lawyer's questions about how this had affected her, right?
Yes, yes,
And you saw your attorney say, do we need to take a break?
yes,
And you saw her say, no, let's go on and get this over with.
yes, sir.
You saw all that.
Yes.
You knew she was upset.
Just like she knew I was upset when she was standing in front of my kids with an AR-15 with her hand around the trigger ready to shoot me. Just like she knew I was upset when she cut my cameras. But I'm not a person, she is. So I'm sorry for being a victim. Let's talk about the predators.
Okay. So you saw all that. You saw how upset she was. You heard the testimony about her children. You heard the testimony at the depositions about Randy Newland's daughter who came home upset. You heard all that. But you're still posting stuff about
Yeah,
it.
because I understand it was Randy's fault and all of their fault for coming in my house in the first place. So if they hadn't came to my house, their children wouldn't be saying nothing. None of this would be going home if they did their research and did things right. So all of this is their fault. And now they want to sue me for their mistake.
Is there anything that could change your
I
mind?
wish I could be in the plaintiff's lawyer's head right now. Like, how does he think this cross-examination is going? Does he think this is going well for him, or does he realize that this is not going well for him?
About what you're doing to these deputies?
Is there anything that can change my mind about the fact that they shouldn't have been at my house in the first place? Is there anything that can change my mind about how my money shouldn't have been touched in the first place? No.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You want to continue, I'm sorry, Mr. Osborne, do you want to continue the direct examination of your client now?
Your Honor, I was going to actually ask for a sidebar so we can talk about that.
Okay, so let's just talk about it.
Okay, so I was actually going to not do cross with Mr. Foreman this time. I was going to hold off until our...
They're trying to say Afroman knowingly lied or was being awful, right? They couldn't get that. Not even that he was being awful. You're allowed to be awful. I think some of the things he said about Lisa were pretty awful and should have been directed in a different place if he wanted to insult her. What they need to do is prove he knowingly lied with actual malice, and they absolutely did not get that. He didn't give them an inch. It was perfect.
in chief.
Yeah, I just offered you the chance to do that. So do you want to do your direct examination on your case in chief right now?
Not right now.
Like the pogo stick of witnesses up and down is what I was talking about. If he testifies on his own direct case, it could be now or it could be later. I just gave the lawyer a chance.
We actually already saw many of the cops' testimonies. There may be more on day 3 because we still have to do day 3. Though actually it looks like day 3, looking at it, scrubbing through it, mostly looks like closing arguments. So we already got through all the police. We do have VODs of that, though, if you'd like to go back and watch our VODs of day 1 and part 1 of day 2.
Now or later, these are later. So you'll likely see Mr. Foreman again. This was an examination on the plaintiff's case. You get a chance to hear his testimony on his case. There's your explanation. Thanks, Mr. Foreman. You can stand up.
Plaintiffs rest subject to the admission of all our exhibits, Judge.
Okay, thank you. We'll deal with the exhibits on a break. What do you have?
I had no one ready. All my people were scheduled to be ready tomorrow. I will have to call them to get them here in the morning.
Don't research. Don't think. Don't talk. Ruminate in your own mind, maybe, but it can't be any farther than that. The admonition we talked about previously about deliberating as a group and thinking collectively.
The plaintiff's lawyer seems determined to require proof of his client's wrongdoing. That's not pertinent. Yes, he is framing it as if the automatic reasonable position is always that you should trust the cops, and it's unreasonable to ever suspect them of stealing, even given a discrepancy that's pretty wild, which is a ridiculous place to put it. That's ridiculous. Jitara says, I do love that he constantly defends himself with, okay, but y'all shouldn't have been in my house in the first place, because there's this angle I'm seeing where the prosecution is acting like he attacked those poor little police officers out of nowhere. Agreed. I think that was a good strategy for him to continually bring it back to they were wrongfully there. They may have had a warrant, but it was a warrant that was fucking wrong, and they're gonna get criticized for it.
Is still in play. And you can't look at anything else. The admonition we talked about previously about deliberating as a group and thinking collectively is still in play. And you can't look at anything online, can't drive by addresses. All those things you can't do, you know you can't do, don't do. See you tomorrow. We'll start at 8:15 again. And thank you for a good day's work. We'll go ahead and be an adjournment.
The judge is so smug. He certainly is. Holy shit, look at that coat. I hope that's fake fur.
That's not fair. Any new objections? There are times for you object to 2 exhibits in the moment.
I would just
Besides, yes, it's a renewing notice. I noticed a particular objection from the defense. Plaintiff's exhibits 4, 5, 6, 7, and 26. That sound right?
I don't think anything happens from here. I think they're just doing, like, planning for the third day.
Thief refers to a general post that refers to the Adams County Sheriff's Department not singling any one person out. And therefore, we would say that in a
Oh, are they working on jury instructions?
defamation claim, it must be specific, so a reasonable person would understand.
Yeah, I
We
think
would say
they're.
that with
I think
that-
they're working out jury instructions together.
And there is some case law on that, and hence why I was going to argue this yesterday with the case, or tomorrow with the case law. But there is case law on it that shows that you cannot claim defamation of a public official through the office. And so therefore, we would move for a dismissal of both his claims in this matter.
Oh, they're moving for a
Other
dismissal.
motions?
I'm taking each one at a time, Your Honor.
It doesn't get dismissed.
The next
wins
person would be Sean Cooley. Defendant Cooley has claimed that he is not
Hope you have fun at D&D, Dodger Mutt.
upset, or that no person would take it seriously, him being called Officer Pound Cake, and that he is solely seeking damages for a general post of being called a liar about the Adams County Sheriff's Department. And so therefore, being that you cannot claim through an agency, we would ask for a dismissal on that. As he is not asking for anything specific to him, we do believe the false light claim fails, because no reasonable person can say, yes, I'm going to look at the Adams County Sheriff's Department with 50 members on it and say, yes, this is the one person for that. You would impute it to all 50. If he was singled out, we would say there's a claim. Further, if he should raise that he is offended by being called Officer Pound Cake, we have shown the basis of that is art. It is a song. It is not defamatory. No one would have took it seriously. So at best, it could be defamation.
That's kind of crazy. Okay, so the city has 27,000 residents and 50 people in the sheriff's department. Seems like a decent number of people for the sheriff's department for a community of like 25,000 people. I don't know.
Defamation per quid, which he did not claim concrete economic damages, and even in that
'Cause that's not even like the cops. That's the sheriff's office.
argument, he would fail.
How many people are at the jail or need to be stationed at the courthouse at any given time?
We have defendant, or
No, I know. I looked up Ohio. I know it's Adams County, Ohio.
plaintiff Randolph Walters Jr. He has claimed that he is not seeking damages for being called, what was it? That son of a bitch, Gomer Pyle, or Beetle Bailey. He is solely seeking through the general assertions on the department of being liars and thieves. He has not been singled out for that. So as such, we would ask it to be dismissed too for that reason. Further, should they consider that's defamation, given the remoteness of it, it'd be definition per quid, especially if you're going off of a son of a bitch.
Any interesting court cases in Michigan these days? Not that I've seen, but I haven't been paying a lot of attention to the general trial stuff in Michigan lately, just the sob sit stuff.
And
I'm sure there's interesting trials going on somewhere in Michigan, but not that I'm privy of.
Gomer Pyle and Beetle Bailey, those things would be defamation per quid, which you would have to prove economic damages. None have been listed, so therefore it would be dismissed as a matter of law. Now, the question of the other thing, which is someone fucks his wife, the reality is that is an opinion at best and cannot be taken seriously. No reasonable person would take that seriously, not in this community. And so therefore that would fail. And we'd ask that to be dismissed because I've never seen a defamation case on the internet about that. Going to the next one, which is Justin Cooley. Justin Cooley, defendant claims he was called receding hairline and dipshit. Neither one of those would be defamation. At best, it would be defamation per quid. He has not claimed any solid economic damages. So therefore, they would fail as an operational law.
I gotta look that up.
Further, you can't, dipshit receding hairline would not paint him in a false light. So that would fail as a matter of law. And it seems like the only thing he is claiming is also through the general assertion that the police department has been defamed by being called liars and thieves. And as such, his should be dismissed for that reason. That brings...
Per se defamation is defamatory on the face of the statement. Per quad defamation requires that the plaintiff prove specific damages in order to be considered defamation.
To Sean,
so like financial losses.
Grooms. Sean Grooms was called the hunchback of Adams County, basically Quasimodo. That is not derogatory. Quasimodo is a Disney hero. And so, if it is defamatory...
It's funny because Quasimodo is definitely an insult, but being like, actually, he's a Disney hero is a pretty funny defense.
I don't know how, but if it is...
He was actually played by Lon Chaney, who was the man of 1,000 faces, so it's a compliment.
Then it would be per quid. He would have to show solid economic damages. He has not done that. He has not articulated how being called Quasimodo would, or sorry, the hunchback, would render him in a false light. So his claims are solely on the idea, or at least it seemed to be from his testimony, from a general.
He's the hero of the book, too. Yeah, doesn't he, like, lay down and die with Esmeralda's body at the end of the book?
Thing called...
Kinda surprised they adapted that into Disney and just completely fucking changed it. Although they did do Little Mermaid, which has a really dark ending in the original, so never mind.
All the officers liars and thieves directed at the Adams County Police Department. That would bring us to Miss Phillips. Sorry, let me say Miss Phillips. That would bring us to Brian Newland. Brian Newland's, both his claims fail as an operational law because he testified that, yes, Mr. Foreman's statement of him being a pedophile is Mr. Foreman's opinion. And then he also testified that it would be the opinion for the other thing he was called, which is, let's see,
a lot of what became the Disney version was actually taken from other iterations of the story from plays and films throughout the 1900s. Oh yeah, I think visually they took some inspiration from the silent Hunchback for sure. Hydrate, will do. That often happened with things like, for instance, Universal's Dracula isn't directly based on the book. It's actually based on a London stage play of Dracula that Bela Lugosi actually starred in the stage version.
I forget what else he said. But he did testify under oath that he believed those were opinions. Opinions are not...
I think Frankenstein might have also been based on a stage play, but I could be wrong about that.
Facts, and therefore do not meet the definition of defamation, and therefore would be dismissed. Further, I'll leave that for Mr. Newland. That brings us to Miss Phillips, our final one. Miss Phillips was called Lickum Low Lisa, was called Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa, as she seemed to indicate, was not a derogatory term, and so therefore, at best, would be defamation per quote, which she would have to prove actual economic damages, which she has not.
Dracula's a book told from mainly letters. That's why I have so much trouble. I've never been able to. This is kind of embarrassing. I've read Frankenstein multiple times. I love Frankenstein. I cannot get through Dracula. I have tried. I have sat down. I have tried to read Dracula. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Low Lisa, the same way. It is not a crime to be a homosexual in this country. It is not a crime to cross-dress. It is not a crime to have oral sex with the opposite sex. As it is not a crime, it does not shock the senses like pedophile would, and so therefore would not be defamation per se. It would be defamation per quid, and she would have to show actual economic damages, which she has not. It would fail as an operation of law there. As the false light goes, it does not even go there, because technically asking someone if they have a vagina or a penis is something that no reasonable person would ask. Further, she has testified that she has had that her entire life. And so through her entire life, she has already put up with this. She has, I should say, this is nothing new that would affect her reputation if this is something you've had.
Ooh. That's not very nice to say, but it's an interesting legal argument to say she already testified that she's been dealing with this her whole life, so how would it affect her reputation now? Again, it's gross to hear, but as a legal argument, okay, all right, that's something.
Her entire life. And so we would say both her claims fail as an operation of law.
Anything else?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Go ahead and respond.
Judge, we think the evidence is clear that there's plenty of evidence from which the jury could reasonably conclude that each one of these plaintiffs has suffered defamation and false light damages in the context of the entire case, in the context of all the posts. It's clear that, and I think the jury could reasonably conclude that each one of these plaintiffs were singled out as thieves, and we are going to do some research on group defamation, which we haven't submitted a proposal, an instruction for yet, but we're going to look and see tonight what that involves. But even aside from group defamation, each of these individuals on the theft testified that they suffered harm from being called a thief. They all have images posted on one of Mr. Corman's posts someplace along the line, so they've all been associated with this theft allegation.
This hat is making my head itchy.
Of course, with respect to the others, Mr. Randy Walters, I mean, it's up to the jury to decide whether saying what...
Oh, you don't have to do the hats off. I'm going to reject that because we're almost done for the day. Day 2 is almost over, so save your points. Thank you, though. I appreciate the thought, but we're almost done.
The effect that it had on him is reasonable and caused him pain and was opinion or stated fact. With respect to Newland, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it might matter to the jury that Ryan Newland said, yeah, I think that's an opinion.
Skipazoa says this lawyer's trying too hard for someone who has the judge on his side.
Yeah, but it's up to the jury to decide whether that was really to the average person or to them, if that was just an opinion or if it was stated as a fact. There's plenty of evidence from which they could conclude that that was stated as a fact. The same, of course, with Lisa Phillips. All of the things that were said about her, it's up to the jury to decide how outrageous those were and whether they were just opinions or exaggerations or whether they were actually lies. That's why we have juries. I think the evidence is sufficient for all of these plaintiffs at this point for the jury to take
No,
everything
we don't have the judge questioning the jury on camera. We only have jury members talking about it.
into account and decide that each one of them has a claim for defamation per se and has suffered damages as a result.
Your Honor, Mr. Klingler, while generalizing law, has missed one point. The court decides what is defamation per se and what is defamation per quid, not the jury. And that standard is clear. He has to prove those standards. Now, they can go forward. I have included both in my jury
I've only heard one juror come forward so far, but I'm not sure.
instructions because he has to prove
But I don't think that juror has any reason to lie about what she said the judge said.
that
so.
calling someone a son of a bitch shocks the senses. Calling someone a pedophile, the reason why that is defamation per se is because it would shock the senses because it's a crime. Hence the reason why I asked the question about homosexuality. Calling a person a homosexual right now is not a crime. In the 1940s, different story. But this is 2026. So there has to be a determination of exactly which statement is defamation per se, defamation per quo, and they have to meet the burden for that. And that is the court's decision to make, not the jury. The jury does not decide what is defamation per se. If not, why would we be making jury instructions to that effect? And also, group defamation was never raised in the complaint. So therefore, we would object to anything that talks about a group defamation because, in general, if the group is the Adams County Sheriff's Department, they're not here. If the group is everybody took the raid, well, we've all agreed there was 10 people and 7 are plaintiffs. Where's the other 3? Judge Roy Gabbert's not here, and they've introduced one
True, Phoenix, true.
with his posts. So group defamation was never raised and would be inappropriate at this time, and there has to be a determination on which statements are per se defamatory and per quote.
Get a decision tomorrow morning. You can send me emails tonight with aspects of law. Just make sure the other party, the other lawyer gets in the loop. So it's under advisement. Thanks for appropriate motions. Anything else for the record?
No, Your Honor.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Well done today. Have a good evening.
Thanks, you too.
Yep.
Presumably he'll rule on those the next day. All right, so we are done with day 2. All we have is day 3 left. So we're going to call it for today because we will have just enough time another time to do day 3, and I don't want to convolute it by doing part of day 3 here. We'll keep it just to the last part of day 2 to keep it nice and organized. So thank you everyone for hanging out. I appreciate you muchly. If you came from the raid, consider following. We do fun stuff most days. We have a great community. We hang out, watch silly stuff together, have some fun, talk about it. Other than that, I will be back tomorrow, probably to do tinfoil. I know sometime this weekend I want to do another true crime stream, since it's been quite a while since I've done one of those. So that's basically the plan for the weekend and tomorrow. Let's see who we're gonna raid. Granny?
Yeah. Scratchy.
All right. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. And I hope you're excited for the weekend. It's almost here. Wait, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Friday, right? It is. Okay, I'm not crazy. Have a good night, everyone. See you later.